Get the worksheet used in this lesson, as well as hundreds of others, at Mathcation.com. This video is about adding negative numbers. You can get the worksheet used in this video for free by clicking on the link in the description below. Before I do a practice problem showing you how to add negative numbers, I want to talk about the two differences when working on problems about negative numbers. The first tip when solving problems about adding negative numbers is if they have the same sign, you will add the numbers together and then you will keep the sign. So if they have the same sign, you will keep the signs. So in this case, in the case of this worksheet, if it's a negative number plus another negative number, you will keep the sign, which is the negative, add the two numbers together, and your answer will also be a negative number. Now, if they have opposite sides, what you do is you actually subtract them. Then you take the sign of the larger number. Okay, so let's do a couple practice problems from our worksheet. So first of all, our first problem gives us -1 plus -5. Now you will notice that both of these numbers are already negative. So the -1 and the -5 are both negative. Now our rule is you will add the two negatives up. So you add the numbers together. Then because the signs are the same, you keep that sign. So this is a -1, this is a -5, so our answer will also be negative. So all you have to do is add -1, so we're going to add our number, plus -5, so we're going to add -1 and -5 together, and that's going to give us 6. And then because they are both negative, our answer also has to be negative. So -1 plus -5 is -6. So jumping down to the second problem on our adding negative numbers worksheet, you can see that this time we have a +1 plus a -8. Now this time, this is a positive number, which is our 1, and this time 8 is negative. So when they have opposite signs, what you have to do is subtract them and then keep the sign of the larger number. So in this case, our answer has to be negative because 8 is greater than 1. So 8 is greater than 1. This is negative, which means that our answer also has to be negative. So now what we do is we subtract. So we take our problem here. We do 8 minus 1, and this time we're subtracting because they're opposite signs, and we get 7. So we know our answer has to be 7, but because the larger number was 8, and this number was negative, so 8 was negative, that means our answer also has to be negative. So when we write this out, if you do 1 plus a -8, your answer will be a -7 because when you subtract those, you get 7, and the larger number of the two is a negative. So our answer has to be -7. Alright, so moving on to number 5, when we're adding two negative numbers, the two negative numbers this time, this is negative and this is negative, so that means our answer has to also be negative. So they have the same sign, so we're going to keep that sign. So all you do is you add them together. So -8 plus a -2. You will add 8 plus 2 here. So 8 plus 2, that is going to be 10. And then because they are both negative, that means the answer also has to be negative. So that's a -8, that's a -2. So you add them together and then you keep the sign. So it has to stay negative. So our final answer is -10. So the last example we're going to do is number 7. This problem gives us 5 plus -3. So this time we have a negative plus a positive. So to determine what sign our answer is going to be, we have to actually subtract these. And we're subtracting these because they have different signs. So this is a positive and this is a negative. In order to determine 5 plus negative 3, you have to actually subtract them. So 5 plus negative 3, we're going to do 5 minus 3 because they have different signs. This time 5 minus 3 gives us 2. But determine what the sign of your answer is going to be, you have to look at which number was bigger. So in the case of our problem, we have 5 plus negative 3. 5 is obviously larger than 3. So because 5 is positive, that means our answer also has to be positive. So our final answer is just going to be a positive 2. So what you do is, again, 5 plus negative 3. You have a positive number here and a negative number here. We already know that you have to subtract when you have different signs. So we do 5 minus 3 and we get 2. And then because this 5 is larger and this 5 is positive, that means our answer has to be positive 2. If you found this video helpful, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to our channel, or check out our website for more premium math content. Thanks for watching.